I can kind of start things going. Looks like the stream's pretty stable. Can jump into my desktop view since I'm planning on doing a bit of code tinkering in the next couple hours. Where I left off yesterday. I was playing around with some web-based animations for my follow alerts. I'm going to continue playing with that. And apropos of that, I can bring them up. This is what I got working yesterday. Now that's probably going to kill my frame rate because I'm still kind of playing around with that animation, but... or I'm going to make it worse. So anyways, yesterday, I got my alerts talking, and I got these zoomy spaceships. I'm thinking I want to add a demo-style sign scroller to that. So instead of just having that little thing, the text fade in, I might have some text scroll past. This is a really weird Mega Mod. I think I'm going to skip past this. Anyway. So I got the speech working yesterday, I got the animation working. I think I'm gonna turn off the speech for now, and I'm just gonna turn the animation on full time so I can tweak it. So let's see. Did a little bit of refactoring of this code this morning and tried to make the animation system a little more generalizable. So let's see. This is the JavaScript in the web page that does the animations. It listens for an event from my NodeCG system that it gets from Twitch. So when a file comes in from Twitch, it fires off an event. The event goes through the server plumbing, comes up through a WebSocket, and triggers a web-based overlay that shows that animation. What I'm going to do, real quick as a hack... Oh yeah, hello there, Skipper. Thank you for confirming my audio and video stable. Probably won't stay that way. Let's see. I'm gonna turn on the file alert and turn off the bit that hides it. Let's call it... I'm also gonna turn off the speech for now because I'm gonna have it reload every time I tweak the code. And I don't want that to just keep jabbering away. It's pretty simple code too. Like I've got a real simple loop here. It starts the animations, it starts a fade in, it waits 3 seconds, it starts a fade out, then it stops the animations. I'm going to turn off the fade out and the stop. So it should come on and it should not go away. Cool. Now if I keep modifying the code, it should reload as I go. First thing I think I'm going to do, I'm going to reduce the number of spaceships it does, because I think that might be killing my frame rate. And I forget where I do that. Oh yeah, I do that down here. So I've got... yeah, I do one like a spaceship every 10th of a second. I'm going to change it to every 3rd of a second. Might be a little friendlier to my frame rate. Okay. I kind of want to do a scroller, so I guess one of the first things I'll want to do is find a fun font, and the font will be made of images. So I'm probably going to just see if I can steal it from somewhere. Demo style font. Because I've seen scrollers before, like a demo style scroller. Like nice, cool... No... Let me try this demo. I just did this Google search the other day. Demo scene scroller HTML5. I want to get a nice chunky font that someone's made. Hopefully it's public domain, or at least permission to steal it. Lots of people have made scrollers. This I think is one in C++, which is not what I want. Basically what I want, yeah, I want like a big, chunky, retro-looking font made of a JPEG or maybe a sprite sheet. Like a sprite font. I'm sure there's a few of those out there, like these kinds of things. Yeah, like I want this font. That'd be a cool font. I wonder if I can get that sprite sheet. Looks like a DeviantArt project. I don't wanna take it if it's like someone's selling it or explicitly does not want it for use. Braybook. Yeah, see, the weird thing about that is I'll need to get a spreadsheet that's got some like coordinates to it. Personal use, feel free to download. Yeah, that might be a candidate. Looking for a nice, bubbly, retro-y looking font. And then I'm probably just going to animate it along a sine function rendering. It would be nice if it was SVG or something too, because then I could recolor it. We'll see. I could have probably researched this before I started the stream, but I guess I'm gonna look it up while I'm on stream. It's part of the effect, I guess, or part of the process, I guess. Might be cool to do a dot-based font too at some point, but I just kind of want to do a basic kind of bobbing, scrolly thing. It's not really impressive in HTML5, it's just neat looking. That's the search I just did, but sometimes if I use different terms, something more interesting will come up. Retro font sprites. I'm also too lazy / untalented to just draw my own font. I might do that later, I don't know, but it'd be neat to get my hands on something I could use sooner than later. There's some other fun stuff I could do. Star fields and copper bars and plasma and all that fun demo scene stuff. I'm not doing that right now. I'm gonna be inspired by some stuff like that, but that's somebody doing demo scene stuff on Pico 8, which is cool. I mean, this is what I'm after when I do a sine scroller. Each character moves up and down. And I want that to come across and say, so-and-so is following me. Wow, this is just, I think this is really killing my frame rate. I wonder what else I can turn off. The effect isn't going to go for very long. Let's see, 2 a second. Maybe I'll make them go faster. What does that do? That might be a little better. Part of it is I know this stream machine is doing software encoding of the video. I want to get the GPU doing it at some point, but every time I try getting the GPU to do it, something's not quite right and ends up being like 2 frames a second. Doesn't help that this is an Ubuntu machine, and I think that's slightly less well supported by folks using OBS, but it's possibly just things I don't know yet, or haven't learned yet. So anyways, that seems to be a little friendlier to frame rate. We'll get there. I kind of want to leave the animation going and just see how it performs over time, too. I've seen these fonts before. I probably should have bookmarked them somewhere. Well. The Braybrook font sprite sheet seems about right, although what this really needs is coordinates. So I can slice up the sprite sheet. Let me see what's in there. zip file. Since it's okay for personal use, use it for personal use and maybe attribute it in my code at least. So there's a Photoshop file. Is it a font? No, it's a sprite sheet. But to use a sprite sheet, I'm gonna need locations where all characters are. Since it's not a grid. Huh. Okay. I mean, I could start this. I could actually back up and do the effect first and just draw like actual letters and animate the letters through. I could do that first and come back to getting a sprite sheet of some sort. I've just been streaming a Google search history so far, so maybe I'll back up and read the effect first. Man, that is really eating my frame rate. I don't know if that helps it. Yeah, I'm just watching the number drop on OBS. Let's see if I get rid of that effect. It snaps right back up, I think. It's probably okay if I let it go just quickly. Let's see. So there it fades in, and it fades back out. It seems to just not like it if I let it go for a very long time. The other thing I could do too is maybe like shrink the canvas so it's a smaller square centered on the middle of the screen. That might reduce some of it. Oh yeah, another thing I did last night, hopefully this works. I did a little bit of work on the music player, and I think I might have fixed the bug where some songs would just go on forever, and I'd have to manually advance the track. So I may have fixed that. We'll see in about 2 seconds. Ah, well, it worked that time. I used to leave that Master Blaster song on for like 15 full minutes, and it's only like 1 minute worth of song. So that's cool. Alright, well, let's not screw around with looking for a sprite sheet again for a while. And I can get into my animation system here. So I made a class called Particle System. All it does is it's got an update loop and a draw loop. The update loop goes through a list of particles, updates all their properties, draws them to the canvas. And then the specific subclass here that handles those spaceships, every half second or so it spawns a new particle. The particles have X and Y in velocity and a lifetime, and they've got a color and a color cycling velocity and a rotation and a size. The update part just updates their position based on velocity. If they go off the screen, they're dead and they'll get garbage collected. Cycles the color. If they run out of time to live, they're dead and they'll get garbage collected. And then the draw part is what actually draws the little spaceship. So I can create a new animation system as a new subclass and just give it a different update algorithm and a different draw algorithm. And I think I'm going to start to do that for a sine wave scroller. Now the spaceships system generates a new spaceship at a random Y position, slightly off screen to the left. So that's how you get like a bunch of spaceships going across. I want to give a scrolling system a message, and like every few ticks spawn a new letter on the right side. So I want the spaceships to go left to right, but the letters to go right to left. So it kind of might look like the spaceships are flying over the screen. So that's kind of my rough goal. So I can start off, let's say, class sign scroller extends particle system constructor. It wants to take some options. I'm going to say message is one of the options. And it's going to carve that message up letter by letter, turn them into particles. Now in my particle systems I got three or a few basic methods here. I got an update. This happens every 60th of a second. I've also got an update particle, which happens for every particle. So the superclass maintains a list of particles. And the superclass takes care of looping through all those particles. So I just have to define a method to handle one particle. Just kind of reducing boilerplate code. So just kind of sketching out the basic structure of this thing here. But again, I gotta draw a particle. Draw a particle is what actually draws the shape. I'm just gonna copy pasta that and delete what I don't need. Alright. A lot of very similar things. I'm going to leave a lot of this in here, I think. So this is going to be the code to, like, draw one letter. And I'm going to start off, I think, just drawing just actual browser-supported text. Alright, so what's the update logic I want here? So I got a message. I'm going to say, let's add it. Oh no, music player crashed. That happens. I haven't fixed that issue. Oh no, it crashed again. That needs to be fixed. This'll work. I'm trying to find a song that I want to hear. Okay. So when I fire up the follow alert, I've got this function called start, and I give start a list of particle systems to initialize and start animating. So I'm going to say sign scroller. And I'm going to give it a message. Let's say, thank you for the follow. Or maybe I'll just say, greets. Thanks for following. That's a long message. That's going to be a long scroller. We'll see. We'll see what it does. Okay, so we've got our animation system. It's going to have some zoomy ships. It's going to have a sign scroller. Now let's keep sketching out the sign scroller. So it's going to get initialized with that message. I'm going to say spawn particle. When a particle spawned, I'm going to say it's going to be a letter. Actually, what I'm going to do here, I'm trying to remember, can I just split on no character? No. There we go. I'm going to split the string up into characters. So I'm going to say split this into an array of characters. And what I'm going to do, new particle delay. Let's make this an option. What kind of, I mean, I could do the spawn based on when the next letter clears the edge of the screen. I'm just going to make it a delay for right now. Let's say we're going to do one every quarter of a second. Current delay 0. So what we're going to do here is say this current delay minus equals dt. Now dt is returned by the superclass. That's the delta time between now and the last update. So if the current delay runs out, which it will on initialization, less than or equals 0, what we're going to do is say, okay, this current delay is going to equal this new letter delay equals new letter delay. I'll probably rename all these variables at some point, but now when the delay runs out, I'm going to say next letter equals this message pop. I'm going to grab the next letter. I'm going to say this particles. Oops, I accidentally hit Alt. How do I get the... There we go. This particles push. Now what I'm going to put in the particle first is letter. Yeah, I'm just going to call it letter so I can be lazy. Letter. We're going to want an X and a Y. I'm going to say, here's what I do for the spaceships. Let me grab this real quick and I'll tweak this. Some of this I can refactor into reusable code at some point too, but whatever. I could have a function that creates particles, but I'm just kind of jotting this out. So I grabbed the canvas, and part of the reason I grabbed the canvas is I want to know how wide it is. And one of the things I'm going to do is say X is, for a new letter, X is going to be... Oh, it crashed again. Wow, what's going on with Chip Machine today? X is going to start off as canvas width plus 32. So it's going to start off screen. Height is going to be, I don't know, let's say canvas height 502. Start in the center. At first, it's not going to, it's just going to be a scroller. dx is going to be how far it travels per second. Let's say I want it to travel a quarter of the way across the screen every second, and it doesn't travel at all in a vertical direction. TTL, I don't know that I want to, that I care how long they live. I'm going to say 10 seconds for now. Size, doesn't matter. Color, let's leave them random colors. We're going to color cycle. There's the size, doesn't matter. Rotation, alive, yes, okay. Oh yeah, I want the letter in there, so letter. You know what, let's move this. Let's say this spawn particle, because I meant to put this in a little utility function. So what this does is pops up off the next letter, and spawns a particle. Okay. Now, update particle. I'm going to copy some stuff again. This should probably be something that I refactor into utility functions. I'm not there yet, though. I'm going to probably replace part of this with a signed function plot. Okay, so this updates the velocity. If the particle x is less than canvas width minus particle size, we're gonna call it dead. And if it's lived long enough, we're gonna call it dead. And yeah, these are really good candidates for reusable functions at some point. And then there's some color cycling. Okay. Now when I want to draw, I get a color, rotation, size, yada yada. There's the color. Now to actually draw it, I want to draw... I don't have the sprite sheet yet, so I want to just draw the letter. Oops, wrong window. Ambient canvas always forget this API. Stroke text. Okay. So I'm going to say, not cat, ctext, stroke text. So I'm going to draw a letter. I'm curious to see, I'm just writing all this without trying it. I'm curious to see how well my first try at this works. Probably terribly, but we'll see. Identify, oh, that should be equals. Okay. Prettier also thinks there's an issue somewhere else in the code. Prettier's kind of doing some primitive linting for me. Where do you see an issue, Prettier? Do you see an issue at, okay, up there, okay. I think I fixed that. Where are you seeing the issue, Prettier? You think there's an issue? No, I got rid of that semicolon. It still thinks there's an issue. Let's try it again. Format document. Okay, it doesn't think there's an issue now. Alright, well, all my basic syntax errors seem alright. Let's see what it does. It is not scrolling text at all. That is because I didn't give it a negative dx. I want it to go right to left. Is that going to make a difference? That does not make the difference. Alright then. Let's say minus 10. Is it actually spawning any particles? You know what I'm gonna do? See if I can do this. I'm gonna turn this off and open it in a browser. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I can stop screwing around with it on stream. Okay. Because part of the problem with looking at this in OBS is you don't get to see the browser console. So I'm going to open that in a new tab. In the browser console. We got no messages. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cancel the... I'm going to comment out the spaceships for now. No zoomy spaceships for now, and also do not hide. Okay. So where's my text? So I am updating, I think. Am I updating? I am updating. There goes the console log going nuts. This current delay minus equals dt if it's less than 0. I don't see the spawn message ever come up though. Oh, it spawns once. Doesn't seem to do anything though. So it it loads, it spawns. Oh, pop is not the right thing, is it? I want shift. I don't want the letter out the back, I want the letter out the front. How about I do this for now? Window particles equals particles. I'm going to make it easy to introspect these particles. It'd be good if I could increase the font. Huh. Eh. Oh, you know what? No, that's correct. Let's, the particles... Maybe my particles are dying too early. Let's delete the, death code for now. No. Just trying to see what it's actually doing without going nuts with the, yeah, it's definitely moving. Kind of see what it's doing without going nuts with the, oh no, there it is. There it is. It's this tiny little dot down here. Okay. I see it. I need to maybe make the font bigger. Okay. Tiny little dot moving down there. Maybe need to set a font first. Let's do full text. And fill style. So it's definitely doing something. Shows up eventually. Maybe I need to make it faster. Because there should be a little G somewhere. Oh yeah, because it's only moving 10 pixels a second. That is very slow. Okay, there goes my my G. It's strangely rotated though. I think it's also because I'm scaling, and I don't want to scale right now. And maybe I don't need to rotate either. See what that does. Where's my G? Nowhere to be. Oh, there's my G. So I've got to start on a single letter scroller, but it's not spawning further letters. Which is kind of annoying. Let's have it spawn in at canvas width. Oh, I see what I'm doing. I'm never setting the, I didn't set that from the option. Alright. So now I should start having... Yeah, there, it looks like my letters are slowly spawning in, but they're like way off the screen. So okay, I got the start of a scroller. They're spaced a little too far out. But I can work on that. Okay. And I guess the other thing I should do in here is, let me change this. I want the update to stop spawning particles if we run out of letters. And I'm going to put that logic in update. Oops. That goes inside the parens. At some point, I'm gonna find I can replace this text rendering with something more interesting. Well, that's strange that it's spawning so far off. It's spawning every 25 seconds, or a quarter of a second. Let's make them go a little faster. It's weird that they're like spawning so far off screen now. So that's a little more like a scroller. It's not great yet. It's getting there. I should really link the spawn rate and the scrolling speed together rather than just guessing. I'll get to that at some point, I think. Let's have them spawn every 1/8 of a second. That's a little more like it. Scrolling is not smooth at all now. I think my CPU is really getting hit and I don't know why. Maybe I can lift some of the load here, turn off a few things. Because I think my OBS doesn't like having too many browsers, like browser sources open. So I'm going to turn a few things off and see if that helps. It might not like composing all of that together. Alright. So I got a bit of a scroller. I don't know why. That's a little smoother, I think. I don't know why it's starting so far off screen. There's a monospace font. That'll be a little less obviously chunky. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Now what I want to do is apply... I do actually want to apply a sine wave to that. So... a really dumb way to do it could be... I'm going to give it another property in the particle. Let's say base y 100. And what I'm going to do is say... during update, particle y equals particle base y plus math sine particle x. This is probably not going to work the way I hope it does out of the gate, but I think it's the general idea. Nope. Not doing it all what I want it to do. Because I want it to plot a sine wave on the y-axis while it goes through. I'm trying to remember in JavaScript. It should be like between 1 and 0, right? Or between 1 and -1. Like, oops. That's what I want. I want that number to go up and down. Which that looks about right. Oh, I know what it is. Maybe it is. It's that. Yeah, I know what it is. I need to give it a little more magnitude. Let's do that. Nope. That didn't do it at all. Okay. Oh, I'm updating the wrong thing. I'm updating my spaceships, which is the wrong particle system. I want to do that up here. I think I do want this alive or dead thing to work. Okay. So that might look like complete garbage, but we'll see. Or it might not work at all. Or it might be that I shouldn't have reinstated the alive or dead code. One thing at a time. So they're shaking, which is not exactly what I wanted, but it's at least an effect. This is probably going to be, yeah, there it goes. It's terrible, but it is following a sine wave. Let's slow that effect down. There we go, there's my sine wave. So I'm getting there. That's the effect I wanted. So I'm basically just telling the y-axis to plot a sine function using x. I'm just kind of messing around with the magnitude and the inputs. So that's cool. I'm done. That's what I came here to do. No, I want to improve it a bit more. So I'd like to, well, first I'd like to figure out why it takes so long for the scroll to get on screen, because it's just going across immediately. I think maybe I'm spawning the particles too far right. And I don't know if I like that color cycling so much. I might want the whole thing to color cycle. No, the letters are going to be closer together. It's not quite what I want. I need to come up with the math that the math or the logic that makes each letter spawn in at a better place. Like it should be triggered to, like, as soon as the letter crosses over into the screen, the next one will spawn so that they're correctly spaced. But that's pretty good for now. It's also a little fast. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. So we're definitely not using the Y. We're using that. That seems a little better. I'm curious what that'll look like on my stream screen. And also I'm going to get, the other thing, now that I've got that mostly working, I'm going to get rid of that little, I'm going to get rid of that little div back there and just make it all canvas. And maybe I'll turn the spaceships back on. Uh-oh. Oh, I know I did. The other thing I broke. I got rid of the div, but I still have code trying to populate the div with something. Let's put the spaceships back in. See what it looks like together. It still takes a while for that scroller to come out. It's a little closer to what I want. It's not exactly what I want it to look like, but it's getting closer. It's getting closer. I know what I'm looking for here. I want it to be in the center of the screen. That's not exactly the center. I think my notion of what the canvas width and height are is maybe what's wrong. Oh, you know what? This function doesn't know what the canvas is. Where the heck is it getting those, that map from? Still not working. Bumping in that mic. Alright. I think I'm having an issue telling what the real canvas height and width is. It should be 1280 by 720. Okay, that's correct. Yeah, no, 1280 by 720 is correct. So I'm confused. Canvas height divided by 2 minus 48 should be roughly centered. Maybe minus 24, but it shouldn't be all the way at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, it's maybe a little too tight. Just kind of messing around with the variables. I should extract those out to constants or something, or options to control the bounciness of the scroller. I don't want it to be too nauseating. And I may end up taking out the color cycling. The ships are cool. Let's give me the color cycle. Let me do this. I want that. Maybe I'll make that scroll continual. Let's say message is message. Let's say letters equals. How about this? If we don't have any letters, then our update is to say this letters equals this message. So I'm going to make the scroller endless. And every time it runs out of letters, reload the scroller. Message shift doesn't work. Okay, what? This message equals message, letter equals this. Oh. So hopefully when it runs out of letters, it just starts over and it should be a non-stop scroller. Because I want to stare at it a bit. Yeah, there it goes. So now it's a non-stop scroller. Frame rate is garbage, but we'll work on that a bit. I got a lot going on and none of it's optimized. So why is it not in the vertical center of the screen? Because if I say 100, it should be pretty close to the top. So 720 divided by 2 is what, like, 370? No, I can't do math. 360. 360. I think it should be 360 if I do canvas divided by 2. That should be roughly centered now. Oh, that's strange. Something screwy. So the way I'm drawing is I'm translating the X and Y. Don't need to do line width here right now. I'm filling the letter, filling the text with the X and Y. For some reason it's way too low. So the canvas thinks it's 1280 by 720. The base Y is 360. Let me try something here. Yeah, I'm still outputting the particles to... Or I'm still shoving the particles into the window object, so I can do particles 0. The Y seems about right. Oh, that might be why this thing's starting to chug. The life or death code is not enabled. The X is less than 0. Let's kill it. There we go. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, so I think it's killing off particles now. It was, when they'd scroll off screen, they were still alive and being animated, but invisibly. The dimensions are way off, though. I wonder if I'm not updating... No, I'm updating the canvas height and width, I think. Because I wanted it at a fixed size. I feel like my coordinate system is off somehow. Alright, no, that is the not desired effect. where does it think 0 is? If I say base-wise 0, it should be like way up at the top of the screen, right? It should be like dipping. Yeah. So that's correct. So what is the halfway point? This just doesn't seem right. And something that's not helping is maybe I'm not seeing the bounds of the canvas. See, what's that column? Oh yeah, this isn't here anymore. I don't need that. So I've got a canvas in here. App canvas. Let's say, canvas border 2px000 solid. Let's give that canvas a... okay, yeah. So that's the border of the canvas. Should be 1280 by 720. But it's weird. Oh, this is weird too. Is there a padding on this canvas? No, doesn't seem like it. Because the letters are disappearing before they get off the edge of the screen. So I'm wondering what's wrong with my coordinates. Unless I'm still doing the, am I doing the time limit? I am doing the time limit, aren't I? Yeah, I got the time limit going. They should live for 20 seconds, I guess. I bet the rectangles are going to be where I want them to be. It's because I just realized what I did. So for other shapes I've drawn and animated, I do this this translate to put them at the correct X and Y. But I'm also filling the text at the same X and Y, so I'm effectively doubling the X and Y. I think I just figured it out. I don't need to translate and... Ooh, that's kind of a neat effect. I don't need to translate and do X and Y. Well, that's kind of a neat effect. I feel like I should be able to use this particle effect or something. Weird little color changing barcode. Alright. I have to remember that for later. That should be... That kind of looks like the boot up sequence of like a TI computer. Where are you going now, kitty? Okay. So if I... Yeah. It is with the font rendering, so I want that at 0, 0. And, yeah, so I want, and that's why my letters start off way off to the right, too. I want canvas height divided by 2 minus the height of the letter, which I think is 48 divided by 2. I don't need to do that math, all that math right there, but we're gonna, there we go. Pretty much dead center. It's a little squished now, though. I think it's because I slowed down the velocity. Not much better. That's a little weird. That's not quite right. Okay, let's re-enable the sine wave. It's a little better. I want it faster, though. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, I think I know what I did wrong there. That might be too fast. Oh, that's way too fast. I think as I was doubling all my coordinates, all my speed calculations and everything were all off. Okay. So that's getting much closer to what I wanted. What do I want to do next? I might want to change that color cycling. Actually, you know what I think I'm gonna do? Instead of making it a delay, instead of it being a delay to spawn each particle, what I wanted to do is spawn a new letter as soon as the last spawned one has come on screen. So I want them to, like, as soon as one scrolls all the way on, the next one gets spawned off screen. And there's a kitty. And this song is going forever. It's my, oh no. This is the problem with NES songs in the song player, is they don't have durations. So I gave them a duration of 3 minutes. Maybe I'll want to reduce that to 1.5 minutes. Yeah, that'll work. I might change that to like 1.5 minutes so they don't last quite so long. Alright. How about this? I'm going to actually move the responsibility we're spawning up. We're getting the letter off the top of the stack down here. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. What I'm thinking about doing is, instead of a delay, I want it to check and see if the last entity in the if the last particle in the list is on screen, spawn the next, and to start them off screen. So as soon as it's on screen, spawn the next one. Kitty's acting kind of weird. I don't know what he's up to. So alright, here's what I'm gonna do. No more delays. We're not doing this by delay. What we're gonna say is we got access to canvas here. Okay, how about this? If this particle's length 0, or this particle's 0x is less than canvas width, spawn particle. So if we have no particles yet, or no, not 0. We want this particle's length. This one. This is getting really verbose, but so if the last particle on the list is on screen, then spawn one. Oof. Music player crashed. Let's say if not let this letter's length there we go. Now it's like an infinite scroll. Yeah, this song's pretty loud. Let's use a constant here for now. So what I'm trying to do, spawn each letter off screen to the right, start scrolling right, and as soon as the last one in the list is on screen, spawn a new one. So they should, like, pile up one after another until we run out. I think. Unless I just broke everything. Let's see what it does. I probably just caused all kinds of errors and it's going to break. A declaration of formal parameter letter. I see. Yeah. Oops. Okay, that seems about what I wanted to have it do. That's about right. Now, I guess the question is, does it... If I increase the speed, is it still as tightly packed? Just about, okay. Because I wanted to make them spawn in letters. fast as I could go. And I keep moving this back and forth. I'm going to move this back here again. This letter logic, I think, really belongs in update. I keep moving it back and forth. And another thing I think I want to do is give it a little space at the end. Yeah, let's do that. I don't know. That's pretty cool. What if I slow it down again? Let's make that an option. Don't have a delay anymore. Kind of want a little space at the end of the message. I guess I could do that as part of the option that I pass in. And the dx is going to be 0 minus this dot speed. Still kind of messing with things here. So way up here is where I initiated, and I'm gonna say dot dot dot. Yeah, there we go. That looks kind of demo-like. Made another option in here for size, because I've been kind of hard-coding that too. Oh, it's 64. Am I doing size? Yeah, size down here. Yeah, okay. And I think I use that. No, I don't use that for the font size. Now, eventually I'm going to replace this with a niftier font, but let's do that for now. Is it a bigger scroller? Nope, I broke a thing. 202. 282. What did I do wrong at 282? Oh, I see. That's not a templated string. There we go. Size is not defined at 171. Oh, I see. Now it's broke. Why are you broken? Did I not assign size? I swore I assigned size. I did not. I put it in the options. Dagnabbit. I keep adding options and then forgetting to like do this, which means I should do this a different way. What I should do is... Here, let me do this. It'll stop me from continuing to break this. No. How about, object assign this. Doing a lot of repetition here and I don't like it. Oops, why did I... Yeah, let's get rid of that. So I'm just kind of rejiggering the way I'm handling options so I don't have to keep typing this dot something equals whatever. So here's some options, here's a bunch of defaults. They're all going to be overridden by what comes in. And now I can get rid of all this. There. Now I can stop repeating myself there. I believe that'll work. Whenever I give myself a default. How about that? Did I break the world again? No. Okay. Alright, well I've made pretty good progress on the thing that I set out to do when I sat down here today. I'm gonna hack on it a little bit longer. The letters are still a little more spaced out than I would like. What if I do divide by 2? That's a little better. Don't want them quite that squished together. Just kind of screwing around with what passes for kerning here. Alright, well I guess one of the next things I can do is I can start to look into that font again. Some kind of puffy letter font. And instead of rendering just plain old letters, I can start to render something elite and cool. The other thing I could do is I could actually turn it back on the stream and see what it looks like on the stream screen. But I'm going to get rid of that canvas border now that I've solved my coordinate system issues. I'm going to go over back to OBS. Pop into the appropriate scene. Turn that back on. Okay. What does that look like? And is it murdering my frame rate again? That looks not entirely awful. It didn't look as cool when it was on top of white. I don't know that I necessarily want it that rainbowy. Let me make the letters a little bigger too. And it doesn't seem to be immediately killing my frame rate, which is cool. And I'm losing a frame or two here or there. I should put some options in on the zoomy spaceships too, because I want to, let me do that real quick. I want more spaceships, and I also want it to be configurable. But yeah, I like this like full screen effect, and I want this to happen when I get a follow. I want to come up with and I want to think of another kind of demo effect-y kind of thing for like raids. In subscriptions, nobody subscribes to me. Nobody should subscribe to me right now because I am totally random when I stream. But if I ever get to that point, it might be neat to have a cool rewarding effect happen then too. Alright, let's see. So what do I want for the zoomy ships? I would like spawn delay. We're going to call that 0.25. Right now it's 0.5, so... And size is a good one. I kinda... Maybe I want to make the ships bigger. Okay, so we can go through and replace these. This is gonna be this... Spawn delay. I could also randomize that. Yeah, I might end up randomizing that. This size. This size. I've got a lot of kind of hidden numbers in here. Or magic numbers. This whole thing could use some refactoring. I'm just kind of sketching it as I go along. Did I break it all? Let's see. Ooh, those are big spaceships. That's much more dramatic. Maybe I don't want them that big. I wonder if that would look better, actually, if I gave the message one color to cycle through. Make the spaceships a little smaller. That's pretty cool. Because what I want to do eventually is, while I'm not hacking on code, maybe I'll be looking at the workbench. And I'll have this happen. So I like the color cycling to make it more visible as a thing that's happened while I'm working. Because whatever I happen to have on screen will have weird colors and contrast and things. I didn't want it to be just like a little image that like pops up in the corner. I wanted to make something a little more dramatic. But this, I thought the spaceships thing was like, it looks like the spaceships are following each other, so someone's following me, and now there's a little scroller. So alright, I'm gonna play with that a little more. Also, I think the ships should have a little more variation in speed. Get rid of some of these magic numbers. Let's see, min speed. Math random times vary. Did I break it? Because I wanted the spaceships to go at different speeds. That's kind of killing my frame rate again, isn't it? That's not too bad. I think I'm going to tweak the scroller to have one color to cycle for everything. I don't know that I like the rainbow effect on every letter. It's kind of cool. Eventually I'm going to replace it with, if I replace it with images, they're not going to color cycle at all. So let's say this color equals Q0 this out of there altogether. Oops. Oh, I'm defining size twice. Huh, weird. Yeah, I'm gonna do one shared color for the whole thing. I'm gonna take that out of the particle update and just put it in the main update. Yeah, and I should extract a lot of these update things into their own functions at some point. I'm just kind of sketching and doing a lot of copy pasta, and then at some point I'll probably notice a lot of things are reused. And I can extract those to their own thing. Color is going to be this color. Did I break everything, or is the scroller? There we go. So the whole scroller is color cycling. I think I like that a little better than each individual letter. It'd be neat if I could get like an SVG font or something, because then I could apply a color to those, I think. How about we make decolor a constant color? There, that's a little more of a gradual color change. I can make that an option too. I like that. That's getting closer to what I had in mind when I decided to start hacking on this today. It's quite a bit closer. Now you can see it like, what happened to this one? It's got really out of sync. So now you can see it doubled and tripled all over the place because I've got it open in several web pages. Okay. It's kind of a neat effect. Almost tempted to give the spaceships their own unified color cycle too, but you know what, I'm gonna turn off the spaceships real quick. So I just have the scroller now. I guess another option I could throw in there. Wave the size, or wave height, which will be this number. Oh, is this a... Oh yeah, this is a remix of this song, isn't it? Yeah, 75 is a bit much. Even 60 is a bit much. Oh, I see. This is an Amiga mod remix of Delta MX by Sidewinder. I think this was originally Rob Hubbard. Okay, it's still a bit too much wave. There we go. Maybe I'll set the wave width too, because that's the number I'm dividing x by. And I think that was 60? Why don't we do it 75? It's a little more gentle wave. I don't want it to be too extreme or nauseating, I guess. Sounds pretty cool. You could also say color speed. Trying to extract all of the tweakable variables out of this. And you know, start that at that. Okay, that's looking pretty interesting. Maybe I don't even need the spaceships. That could be a neat little effect right there. Could make the letters even bigger. That's pretty dramatic. That's a little too big though. Maybe still a little too big. Okay. Okay, so I should follow my own advice, and what I should do now is take this code and commit it to GitHub. Actually, what I should do before I commit it to GitHub is turn off my hacks. And hook it back up to my alerts. And turn off. Let it fade out. Okay, so now it does nothing on reload, because what I have to do this is what this is going to do. But it fades out real fast. So that's another thing, is maybe I want it to fade out when the scroller has finished. So that there's some more variables I can work on. But I do want, before I go too much further, yeah, I should take this code and check it in soon before I mess with too much more. So I don't totally break it and then fail to figure out how I broke it. I'm gonna do one more thing. I can't seem to stop myself from doing one more thing before I check in the code. I'm gonna stop it from being an endless scroll. Because at some point I'm gonna stop this stream and I'm going to want to just use this as my alert. You know what might be interesting is if I put the scroller on 2 lines. I don't know. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that. Let me check in the code. Let me stop screwing with it. Let me check in the code. Stop screwing around, check in the code, so I don't lose my changes. What have I done so far? I got rid of the static div that was just displaying the message. I added some stuff. I refactored things a little bit. Yeah, okay. I added another animation. That's the sign scroller. That's a brand new particle system subclass. I probably should have been checking this in several times so far, so I didn't lose any changes. I got a lot of comments in there. It's still dirty code. I screwed around with zoomy ships. I added some options. Optionified some things. Okay, let's see this. Added new sign scroller particle system. Reworked some constants into options. What else did I do here? Just so I remember what I did later. That's pretty good for now. There's refactorings. This is a terrible commit message. But at least now it is off my machine on GitHub. So if this crashes, whatever, everything I just did for the last like hour and 3/4 is saved. Cool. So here's another thing I want to try. What if I do... Let's do... I know what I want to do. So, base Y is that. What if I do this Y? And Y is... 320. But what I want to do is say 2 sign scrollers. Different lines. This one's at say 200. This one's at say 400. I want one to be the greeting, the other one to be a message. So that's hopefully one of the benefits of having broken this out into a reusable animation system is now I can do this.
Hello, Surrender. Thank you for the follow.
There we go. So it's 2 lines. 2 scrollers. I can play around with the parameters to make them scroll slightly different. What if I made this... What if I made the robot say the same thing? What are the options here? Size is 75. If I make the second one a little smaller, so size. It's all about the tweaking until I think it looks neat. Okay. That's... I don't like the way that looks. That doesn't look great. I don't know. I'm gonna keep playing with it. Do you want the spaceships back? That's even more chaos on screen. I don't know why the robot... Oh, it's because I still have it open in another window. I have it open in a browser tab. That's why you're getting double voices. So that's what it'll kind of look like. That's kind of cheesy. I don't know. I don't know if I like the 2 lines. Maybe I'll just have it say greets. That's cool. Maybe I don't need the spaceships for this, but it's kind of cool for now. Speed is 250 by default. We'll speed it up a little bit. It's 325.
Thank you for following.
Alright. That's cool for now. I'm gonna look a little bit more for that font. And I think I may call the stream to a close very soon. We'll see what I can get. So I was looking at this Braybrook font sheet. It's not exactly what I wanted. You know, I don't know if I like the zooming spaceships for this. I'm going to turn the scroller back on permanently again. And turn off the voice for a second. I'm just going to leave the scroller on. Oh, that's right. I don't have it as an endless scroller, so that's not going to work. Ah, well. I'll leave the voice off, though. The voice is cool, but if I keep triggering it, it could get kind of annoying. Now, I wonder if my frame rate was really being killed by, like, this SVG overlay. So I'm trying to use a lot of web overlays, and I think they might be chewing up a little too much of my OBS processing. Okay, well, back to that font. I mean, I know what I want. I want something kind of bubbly and funky. And I don't want to make it myself. I want this font. Basically, I want that font, but someone's selling that, so I don't think I want to buy it right now. I may come down to that. Oh, I'm going to stand up for a little bit. That is a terrible stool. Yeah, and I don't want a font. I think I do want, like, some images to mess around with. Wonder what I can find. I've seen this sort of thing before. You know what, actually, what I could do, I have, in another part of my thingy, another part of my, bot, whatever you want to call it, I have a Commodore 64 font. It has a license, which I think is a permissive license. I hope it is, because I'm using it. Maybe I'll just use this Commodore 64 font that I've got, that I use elsewhere, and then it'll stylistically mesh together. Yeah, that's the ticket. Okay. So I'm using this Commodore 64 style font for other screens. So maybe I'll use that. Okay. Let's try that. So how do I load that into Canvas? Do I just load it with CSS? How to use custom font for HTML5 Canvas. Add font style to your page, set font family to yada yada. Okay. Is it just that easy? Is it just that easy? Okay, let's try it. So I've got the font over here already. I've got it in a different bundle. So why don't I put it in this bundle too? So far so good. How do I include it in the CSS? Well, I include it like so. Okay. So far so good. Maybe this solves it for me and I can just use a Commodore 64 font and not have to find graphics. That would be nice. So I'm going to use C64 user mono. Maybe this will work, and then I can color the font and all that fun stuff. Will it work? Oh, hey! Look at that! Okay. That is pretty much what I wanted. Okay. That is pretty much what I wanted. Awesome. So I'm going to bump up the kerning a little bit. And the kerning is by virtue of when the particles get spawned. And my logic right now is... yeah, when the particle goes less than canvas width. So let's spawn them at size. How's that? That's a little too far apart. But that font is pretty much what I want. Let's make that an option. I'm going to call it kerning. It's not exactly what it is, but I'll remember what that is. Let's say it's 75. I want a little more. I think I might just about have it. And then, oops, what did I just do? I don't want to do that. Oh, I am typing all over the place. I want it to run when I reload. That is just about what I wanted. Oh, undefined. That is not good. That is not what I wanted to have happen. Oh, from name. So that's just about right. I think that is pretty much the font that I wanted. I could do something a little cooler with it if I wanted to. Like I could do a shadow, something else funky. What if I did? Yeah, why don't we throw a shadow on there? Then those letters are even more noticeable. Let's say, let's say this size 10%. This size 10%. Let's say the fill style is going to be a 0, 0, 0 half transparent. Bit of a shadow on there. Makes it pop a little more. Should be subtle, shouldn't be like super noticeable. Of course, that might not work at all. It's looking a little cooler. So I want to see, how does it look when I'm looking at my workbench? Sounds pretty cool. What's my default wave width? few more tweaks I want to make. Wave width of 75. Let's make that. Wave width 100. Height 40. How about that? That's probably about right. Okay, yeah, so this is pretty much the effect I wanted to make when I sat down to hack on this today. So I've been streaming for about 2 hours. I think I may call things to a close and go get myself some dinner. And, call this a success. I need to clean all this up a bit, but I can maybe do that off stream tonight. I don't know what it looks like with the zoomy spaceships. It's a little more dramatic, I guess. Does it ever fade out? Did I turn that part off? No, I left that part turned off. Yeah, this is the thing I need to figure out. So what I really should do is trigger the fade out at the actual end of the animation. Because it's going to fade out before the end, right? No, it was actually about the right length. Huh, okay. Well, I'm gonna think about this some more. Because what it really should do is not just, like, have I've got it literally just waiting a number of seconds, but I could have it fade out when the scroll animation is done. So that's a thing I could do instead. But that's kind of a neat effect. I think this is what I want to go with. So that's going to be my follow alert. Maybe I'll turn off the spaceships, or maybe I'll find something else, like some other doodly dads to, like, sine wave their way through. Okay. Well, before I call things to a close, let's commit those changes, because those were significant. I added the Counter 64 font. Oh yeah, I should turn that off. I do not want this to trigger every time. I want it to only trigger when someone follows me. And this code is looking pretty simple now, so that's cool. I don't need this here anymore. Yeah, so I just want it to go when I trigger. That looks kind of demo-like, which is what I'm after. Okay. And I might tighten up the fade in, fade out a little later tonight. But I think I'm gonna go get myself some dinner. So, check in the code. Then it's done. And what did I add? I added the Commodore 64 font. I added that to the CSS. I added that. I switched over to that font. Okay, yeah. That's basically what I did. So I switch over to C64 font for scroll. Push that up to GitHub. Alright, so I think that's going to be about it for me. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope to be back soon. I hope to be back more consistently. And hopefully I'll do some more stuff like this on stream before I get down to doing more stuff on the workbench. But until then, see you next time.